Welcome to our session today. We have a new guest today here with us, Diego Checa Hidalgo. He's from the University of Granada, Spain. He is academic at the Contemporary History Department. He is working about the Palestine issue more than 10 years. So we are having you to talk about this Palestine issue. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here in Ormer with you.
Thank you. And in Turkey, many people are curious about Spain's politics towards Palestine because Spain is implementing a different policy other than European countries. And what's the reason and the factors behind this politics?
Yeah, the immediately reasons for this policy, the foreign policy that the Spanish government is implementing towards Palestine and Gaza is the pressure of the Spanish society. There is a clear demand of the Spanish civil society, most of the Spanish civil society, to ask the government to do something in front of the human suffering that they are watching on TV in Gaza. So they are worried about what is going on in Gaza. They understand that people are dying, are suffering, and are losing their dignity. And they decided that this is something that they can't tolerate. So this is one reason. There is a big part of the civil society demanding this to the government. And the second reason probably is that this is an opportunity for the government to implement an independent policy, an independent foreign policy in relation to other European countries. So it is something that probably the government decided to adopt as a way to increase their prestige and their influence in international relations.
And what are the historical roots of this politics?
Yeah, the history of the Spanish relations with Palestine and Israel is complex because Spain didn't recognize Israel until 1986, so very late. And Spain did it once it was accepted in the European Union club, in the European community at that time. So Spain recognized Israel very late. So why Spain didn't recognize Israel before? For two reasons. One is that during the dictatorship in Spain, after the Civil War, during the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even the 70s, the Spanish government had three main enemies in the world. So the main enemy for the dictatorship was the communist and the socialist parties and people, that ideology. Second, it was the Masons, so they were afraid of them. And the third group of people threatening the Spanish government were the Jewish people. They considered that probably they were supportive of the socialist or communist ideas and institutions, so the Spanish government targeted them as a third threat, the third threat for the country at that time. So Spain didn't establish relations with Israel. Don't forget that this Spanish dictatorship was a fascist dictatorship, and they share ideals with during many years with the Germany of Hitler and with the regime in Italy at that time. So it's related with that. Instead of establishing relations with Israel, the Franco's regime started to promote the friendship with the Arab people. That's interesting. But also at the same time, in the opposition parties, the democratic opposition parties, they were watching what was going on in the Arab region, and they saw many movements fighting for freedom, fighting for rights in front of the colonial projects like in Algeria, but also the Palestinians, the PLO. And this Spanish democratic opposition, they look for references into these movements. So they were friends of, or they were familiar, and they were keen to support the Arab revolutions and the Arab movements fighting for their struggle, for their freedoms. So later, when the Socialist Party came to take the power in Spain, they continue being closer to the Arab countries, and they were not very. It took them 4 years to normalize relations with Israel in 1986. Meanwhile, Spain had already supported the right of self-determination of the Palestinian people in 1974, and they had supported the PLO claims in previous years. And don't forget that the first European country that Yasser Arafat, Western European country, that Yasser Arafat as a leader of the PLO visited was Spain in 1979. So those are the deep roots of this relation of Spain with Israel and with Palestine. And the second moment comes when Spain is in the European Union. And once it's inside, Spain decided that they had to develop, also try to move the European Union to a foreign policy that also took into consideration the Mediterranean South area, region. So they moved the European Union to develop the Euro-Mediterranean policy. And one of the main goals of that policy was to develop a peace process in the Middle East. That is the reason because Spain supported very much the beginning of the Oslo process. Spain hosted the first official meeting between Israeli authorities or representatives and Arab countries' representatives. And that was the starting point of the Oslo process. So that is the special interest of Spain in this question and a little bit of the history behind that.
Yeah, it seems Spain has been dealing with the Palestine issue for a long time, even before the Oslo process, as you said. Spain is very interested in the Middle East process and peace process, indeed. What do you see in the future? What kind of scenarios, in your perspective, do you expect?
Yeah, we are watching now that there is something is moving in the European Union member states. So far, in the last 2 years, the position of the European Union has been, it has been very dubitative, or just they were supporting the Israeli claims. Now we have seen in the last 2 years that more and more European countries started to dissent from the apparently the official position, and they were more vocal against the crimes of Israel in Palestine, in Gaza, and they also some countries like Spain for supporting Palestinian statehood. So the claim of Palestinians for statehood. And recently, now what we are watching is more and more countries increasing the measures, trying to sanction Israel for their crimes or trying to support the Palestinian positions. We saw how more countries supported the statehood of the Palestinian state, but also more and more countries are supporting sanctions against the settlers in the West Bank, against the ministers of the Israeli government, and also there are more and more voices asking for severing ties, military and economic ties with Israel. Some countries like Spain announced already a military embargo, and the European Commission just announced that they are going to propose to suspend the association agreement between the European Union and Israel. That means that they are going to start to suspend all the trading relations and the access of Israel to the European Union funding. So apparently this is mostly because the European society is changing, and public opinion surveys apparently said that in many countries, including Germany, more and more people are fed up with the behavior of Israel, and they are demanding to their governments to do something against that. So probably we are going to see in the near future an increase in pressure over the Israeli government to change their policies towards Gaza and towards the Palestinian people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your perspective, sharing with us your ideas. Turkish people are interested in the Spain's politics towards Palestine. They admire it too much, and they are following it. They are very curious about it as well. So thank you so much for answering our questions.
It was a pleasure to share these thoughts with you, and also to participate in this series of videos. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.